spaces are in the empty parking garage, so I have a resolution tonight for that to be approved. Just want to bring the board up to date. So we're working on conceptual drawings for a parking garage on the current Mayfair lot site. The garage will supply parking for a project that AST is planning on New Street, as well as additional parking for Robert Wood Johnson. With the Helix development in full swing, it's been determined that additional parking will be needed when that project is completed, requiring Robert Wood Johnson parking requirements to be shifted from the wellness and gateway garages into this proposed Mayfair garage. And finally, James and I will be working on the budget for 2026. We're aiming to have that ready for the next board meeting in October. That's it.
Okay. James, any other reporting that you need to do tonight?
Just everything that was submitted to the board.
Okay, that was great. Thanks for getting that completed. Any legal issues tonight, Councilor?
None of the reports, sir.
Any public comment tonight?
Yes, please. Good evening. Charlie Cradaville, New Brunswick Today. I apologize for being late. It seems like every road is packed. Found it difficult to get here, but I'm glad I did. Want to say hello to the new person. I guess you're the new CFO person.
That's James Tricarico.
Great. Well, best wishes to you and welcome. Total debt of the authority, 178 million still?
187 million.
187, I got it backwards, okay. And the any update on the former supermarket space? Apologies if I missed it.
No.
Okay. I do want to hand out some items to the board, and I just wanted to, preface all this by saying I respect everyone who's sitting here, and please don't take it personal, but I do feel like there's some problems with how the agency's being run, so I'll start with this one here. What's that?
I won't take that personally.
Okay, good. So this is a resolution approved by the board. If you just take one, pass it down, please. Approved in January. And then this other item is a ticket that was left on a vehicle I parked in my neighborhood. And so, notwithstanding the fact that the summons shouldn't have been issued because the car was legally parked, a few issues with the summons.
But this is your car?
Well, so here's the thing.
No, is it your car that we're discussing right now?
I parked it. I was the driver of the car.
Okay.
I parked it. But the license plate number on here is totally incorrect. It's not the car I was driving, but this summons was left on the windshield under the wiper. Moving on, I see this electronic signature, PEOA Hills. Is that person a parking enforcement officer?
So typically in these meetings, we tend to be a little lax, but if you're presenting something, it's not a back and forth, so you can kind of present the information as you want, but it's not a Q&A session. Like you're giving a presentation, so it's not. So they can choose to respond to you when you're completed is what I'm saying, but for right now, if you just want to give the presentation that you plan to give.
My presentation includes questions. It's just like we've been doing for as long as you've been here.
So. I got you, and typically if it's one or the other. I do understand where I'm coming from. You have a little bit more, so you want to just give them the opportunity to hear everything. And then.
So I'd like to know if this person is a legitimate parking enforcement officer. I think that's a fair question. Can anyone tell me? Maybe you can. I know we've talked about this issue offline.
He's duly employed by the authority as a parking enforcement officer.
Okay, and I see here this resolution in January designates 9 people to be parking enforcement officers. None of them have the last name Hills. Maybe this is somebody who, well, none of them have a first name that begins with A either. So I don't understand how this person's designated to be a parking enforcement officer if this board hasn't signed off on it. Maybe somebody can tell me?
Because he was hired into the position.
So who designated him if not the board?
He's designated upon hiring.
So,
Charlie, you're making a legal argument, and I understand what you're trying to do, but you're making a legal argument in a form that, one, this is not a form to do that. So, you know, but and I understand where you're going with it, but what I'm telling you is that he's employed as a parking enforcement officer. He is authorized under the law to issue the parking ticket.
And what gives him that authority is what I'm asking. Who gave him that authority?
And what I'm saying is that he's a duly appointed officer of the authority, and by that designation, he's authorized under the law to issue parking tickets.
Okay. And that would be pursuant to the statute that was cited in here, 40A, or 40:11A.
I'm assuming, Charlie, I don't have the statute in front of me, so, you know where I'm coming from with that, I just, you know, I don't have a immediate recall of every statute of the state.
Of course. I just know there's a couple
yeah.
different statutes out
Yes.
there, so I did, you know, just for you, Sarah, I brought this. But, you know, it's my understanding pursuant to 40:11A, there are some requirements to appoint or designate someone as a parking enforcement officer. That includes an eligibility determination that the police chief has to sign off that they meet the requirements of being a parking enforcement officer. And want to thank Ms. Perez. I've been filing a number of OPA requests, and just you know, minutes ago got the response that you don't have any eligibility determinations for your officer. So even though it's supposed to be in writing, signed by the police chief, for every parking enforcement officer, they don't exist.
For the municipality.
This statute, the same statute that you cited in the January
On behalf of
resolution.
the municipality, we're not the municipality, Charlie.
Okay, so no eligibility determinations were done, or you're saying they're not required?
I'm saying that that section of that article, as you are reading it, is applied to the municipality. As we discussed offline, there is an ordinance that the municipality drafted creating the authority. It was in like 1948.
Right up there, yeah.
So by ordinance, they have already imbued these abilities and powers to the authority, which they are allowed to do under this act.
Without having to do eligibility
So
determinations.
again, now I'm telling you that is applying, that is specifically talking about the municipality. Now, the question is whether or not you think that we're required to do something. Now, you're now getting to legal fields, into which case you're now asking for legal advice at the meeting. So.
Not in the slightest. I'm making an argument, and you can feel free to respond to the questions or not, but I'm bringing it to the board's attention first and foremost,
Okay.
because I think you've got a legal problem, that these eligibility determinations haven't been done. Another OPA request that I'm still waiting on the response to is whether or not these folks completed a training course. And naturally, because I'm getting a ticket with a different license plate number on it, I'm concerned about the training that these folks got. I did learn through OPA that this particular, you know, alleged officer was hired 2 weeks before writing that summons or issuing that summons. And so I don't know if this officer has other summonses that they've also made mistakes on, but I'm bringing it to your attention. I did, as a courtesy, bring it to your attorney's attention via email, and we had a couple of telephone conversations about it. But I've brought this forward in good faith. I think I'm onto something here, and I think there needs to be changes made pronto, because otherwise you have a lack of legitimacy for all of the officers at this point. If there's no eligibility determinations, I don't think that these officers meet the standards in the statute that you cited in your January resolution. I'll just also note the board's previous practice was to do resolutions like this when new officers are hired. It seems like under Mr. Karen, the board is only doing it in every January. And, you know, whether or not that's legal might be a question for somebody else to answer, but I think the best practice would be for the board to sign off on every parking enforcement officer, and I believe the law requires the chief of police to sign off on their eligibility. So if that hasn't been done, there's a serious problem, and I'll be, you know, in municipal court fighting this summons that is for, you know, it was left on my car but has a different license plate number, and an officer who I can't verify was ever designated. So that's what I wanted to bring to your attention, and I think this is a widespread problem that needs immediate attention from the authority.
Was the
Thank you
date,
for your comment.
was your date adjourned?
No.
Oh, I just see the due date was August 28th, so I didn't know.
Oh, okay, yes, I mean, that's obviously.
I just wanted to make sure that you didn't miss your.
I did not miss the date.
I was looking out for you on that.
But, well, here's the thing, this poor woman who might never have even parked in New Brunswick is the one who's actually on the hook, because it's the wrong license plate number. So I'm taking responsibility for it because it was left on my car and I was the one who parked the car, but this is a bogus ticket and I suspect it's not the only one. That's
Sure.
all. That's all.
Got it?
Yeah, that's all for today. Thank you
your
for hearing me
comment.
out.
Next there, Mitch.
Resolution,
Okay,
board discussion, I'm sorry.
yeah, I don't think anybody had anything for open session. Okay, our first resolution is the payment resolution for September. Can I get a motion
Make a motion.
and a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you. Mitch, this is what you explained in your
Yeah, this is
report.
basically another vendor for to make payment on street or in the garages. This would be Passport Mobile Payment Systems. Basically works the exact same as the other two. And there's you go on, you have an app and you plug in the zone number and you pay for the amount of time that you want to park for. And it also has reminders. So if you can, I think it's 10 minutes before it expires, it lets you know so you could re-up if you need to, or, move on if you want to. So that's that.
Okay, any other questions by the board on this? If not, can I get a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll make a motion.
I'll make
Okay.
a motion.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 And finally, a resolution authorizing the auction of surplus automobiles and equipment.
Yeah, this is, we've done this many times, this is to put a bid out, put a equipment out for bid on the US Gov bid website. This time we're looking to bid out 3 generators and also a 2018 Dodge Journey.
Okay. If there's no questions, can I get a motion for that? Gus, thank you. And a second?
I'll second it.
John, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, is there any old or new business anybody needs to bring up to the board? If not, Mitch, is there any closed session tonight?
Actually, I do have closed session. I have some legal items that I wanted to discuss with the board.
Okay, great. All right, can I get a motion to go into closed session?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Will there be any action afterwards?
I don't believe so.
Okay.